Hi, it's Coach BM here. So today I just want to talk about something that's affecting startups. I've been working with startups for more than 4 years now, advising them and helping them to solve some of their biggest challenges in business. And I've noticed one thing, which is very interesting. I thought it might help us because you know that especially the informal sector, is really contributing a lot to the national economies, especially in the developing nations like ours, Zimbabwe. Um, so one major problem is that people don't want to support startups. Someone asked me, Coach BM, why should people work for startups when they know for a fact that they're not going to survive for more than 5 years? 95% of them die along the way, and only 5% or less usually go beyond 5 years. And that actually um, then gave me this initiative to say, let me talk about this. Maybe it could help someone. Startups, guys, I've noticed that they fail because we don't support them. This happens in two ways. The first one is that people don't want to work for startups. They want to work for established businesses. And the second uh, thing is that people don't want to buy from startups. Some people don't want to buy from startups, and that can affect them. So imagine you losing on talent, and the second thing, people don't want to buy from you. So how can you survive? How can you survive? It's going to be very difficult for any startup because people don't want to work for them and people don't want to buy from them. I'm not saying all the people, but I'm just saying that there's a tendency for people to actually choose established business and not startups. Uh, for security reasons, people are saying it's too risky to work with a startup and all that. So they just want to work with big corporates, and and you can imagine these startups are competing with these big guns, but these big guns are taking all the talent. These big guns are taking all the clients. So how can they survive? And I was just saying, to this guy who asked me this question, to say, if you really want to know um, that startups are failing because you're not supporting them, join one of the startups and actually work with that startup and work with that startup as a business person, not as an employee. Because startups don't want people, don't need people who just want to come in as employees and people who just come in expecting to be carried by the startup, and expect the startup to work for them. A startup, when you're joining a startup, just know that you are working for the startup. You are helping that startup to grow. You are helping to building that brand. So it's very important for people to understand that, but I've seen that most people don't understand this. When they come to my company, I just started alone. I now have 2 3 people that I'm working with. They're saying, no, we're expecting you to also to actually have 15 to 20 people so that we know that you are big enough you know to you have the capacity to carry me and my needs. But guys, when we started, that's why it's called a startup. We are starting up, so not everything is in place. You find that people expect you to have different departments, but you are just a startup. I know startup is have got different categories. Some will start big, but I think no, majority of them they start small, where almost everything is informal. But business is happening. Business is business. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter whether it's formal or informal. Business is business. So startups require business people. That's why most people want to go to the big corporates, because they want to be employees. They want the company to carry them. They don't want